Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Terry, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? So I went to Edmonton, and I had a great time there, bro. I had a phenomenal experience. And what's funny is that everybody was telling me, yo, when you go there, you got to dress warm. It's going to snow. Dude, 3 days of the best weather ever. Barely jacket weather. I wore sweaters. Dude, the best time ever. And it was my first flight on a plane. Wheelchair on a plane, of course, on a plane. It was my first flight in a wheelchair. Dude, it went so smooth. Here's the problem. It went so smooth. My anxiety is what's going to happen the next time. And my anxiety, but I'm going to keep it positive. So I'm not even going to think about that. So dude, I got to experience, I already told you this. I got to experience being a demo model at Zebra Fish Neuro. It was run by Steph, and she specializes in rehab programs. Okay. Not only that, man, but I got to go to the ReYu Paralysis Recovery Center. Dude, if you go there, it's awesome, man. The art on the wall, the setup, everything about that place, the ambiance about that place is just, if I was in Edmonton, I'd be there 5 days a week, hands down. So, and I made a lot of friends. Man. Everyone is welcoming. And it was just such a great time for me, man. I had so much fun. And the two guests that we have today, special guests, man, they are so much more than what everyone in our community know them as. Because, our community, they're like, oh my God, Push. Everyone knows the show Push, and everyone talks about it. Every Sunday it comes out, an episode comes out. Everybody wants to talk about it. It was so hard for me to keep my mouth shut, to be like, hey, I talked to her. Hey, I wasn't talking to Brian, but I was like, yo, I talked to B and I might be, you know what I mean? It was so hard. But dude, these guys are so much more than the show Push, seriously. And I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it all put together. Entrepreneurs, keynote speakers, advocates for disability community, educators who spread awareness. Dude, one of them is a Paralympian bobsled driver. I never even knew that. I had someone do research for me, but like, yo, did you not see this? Dude, that blew my mind. And on top of it, she represented her community at being at the very first ever South Asian Nights at Edmonton Oilers. Do you know what the Edmonton Oilers are, Nick?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay,
I don't live under a rock, Terry.
Dude. Yo, a lot of people live under a rock. If you haven't heard of the show Push, get out of your cave, man. You got to check this shit out. But anyway, Nick, I just want to formally introduce you to Bean Gill and Brian McPherson.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm awesome. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. I'm so happy you're here. Terry has been quietly telling me about his new friends that he can't tell anybody else about. But to be fair, Terry, it's hard for us to access the show. We've talked about that because of where I am. So you got to jump through a couple of hoops. So people down my way may not know who these people are.
Totally.
So let's learn. So let's learn about them, shall we?
For sure, man. For sure. So first of all, Bean, I have one question for you. So when I was there chilling with you guys, chilling with you when we were doing the thing.
Very true.
You knew about this Edmonton Oilers event, right? Because you knew that my partner went to the game. So you must have been like, oh my God, I can't say anything. And it must have been so exciting for you because, it was in a couple of days or 3 days from then. So I just don't know how you kept that a secret.
You get used to keeping secrets like this after a while. Especially when we first heard about Push and we found out that CBC was going to broadcast it and that it was actually happening. Like, I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. That was really hard. And then, so these kinds of other events, you just kind of get used to, like, okay, I'm not allowed to say anything. And then honestly, sometimes I just forget. And then when the time comes, like, oh yeah, that's happening. I'm going to be on the ice. And yeah, it's really, huge. it's wild, and like I'm super grateful for all these experiences, and I almost biffed it getting onto the ice. So, just reality.
Katrina was upset that she wasn't at your game. She's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "We weren't even in Edmonton, so it's okay." But that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a
it
cool
was. And
experience.
I just want to take a minute to like point out how proud I am of you, Terry, for getting on that flight, for booking it, for taking that giant leap, because it's like the first one is always the hardest and the scariest. And I'm so glad that it went smoothly for you. And I think you can just set that expectation for your next one. Because when you go in with anxiety of like what's going to happen, something's going to happen. And at the end of the day, if something does happen, I mean, if your wheelchair does get scratched or damaged or something, then you just figure it out and you go from there, right?
Mhm.
But like I don't want you to let anything like that taint your, perspective of travel, because it's opening up so many doors for you, and you guys can have so many more fun adventures.
I give all the respect to Jen. I'm so glad she was with me and everything. And
Yeah.
I'm glad it went smooth. I heard some of Brian's stories, and after listening to his stories, I'm like, dude, he puts me to shame. So I'm like, Terry, shut up, you know?
Not putting anybody to shame, buddy. Just done it all. Done
Yeah,
it
man.
all.
Yeah. It was too soon for me to leave there. I just felt
Yeah,
so good
yeah.
being there, bro. Like really.
Yeah. No, it was great to have you, buddy. It was an honor to meet you. I'm glad. Again, I'm not going to repeat all Bean's comments. I mean, every step you took to get here was a big step for you, and that deserves the respect right there. But it was great for Bean to shout me out, let me know that you were coming down. An honor to absolutely meet you, glad, and hope to maintain that friendship as we.
So much respect for you guys. Yo, Paralympian, bobsled driver. Yo, are
Yes, so
you
it's pilot.
serious?
But just before we get yelled at, it's
Oh,
bobsled pilot.
do I keep saying driver? Yo, I'm gonna get canceled, dude.
Yeah.
I once,
Yeah.
yo, man. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah. No worries.
Oh man. So when did you do that? I'm s-
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I was playing sledge hockey for Team Canada's development team actually, and I was in my third season playing for him, and the body was starting to get a little tired, and these 18-year-old little punks coming out just whooping your butt around the ice. So the only thing I was good for was taking them into the boards, dropping gloves. So you knew the retirement was coming, but just in a sheer turn of luck, man, I was in Buffalo, New York, and this gentleman called and said, "Are you Brian McPherson?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Same Brian McPherson that climbed a 250-foot mountain face with no safety equipment?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And he's like, "We're trying to design a sport, and we need somebody to be a part of it or whatever." And I said, "Okay, well, what are you trying to do?" And they're like, "Well, we want to make bobsledding a Paralympic sport." I said, "Pardon me?" He's like, "Yeah, we want to make bobsledding a Paralympic sport." He's like, we've got nothing, no experience, no idea how it's going to work. Would you be willing to come down to Park City, Utah, meet with a couple other disabled athletes from around the world? We're going to put you through a pilot training course and just kind of see how things go. I agreed. Went down to Park City for a week. There were a few athletes from Latvia, a couple athletes from USA, Canada, myself. And yeah, we started taking pilot training school. You I wish there was a way to hold on to that first run, because I don't care who you are in bobsledding, your asshole puckers, but I guaranteed it puckered good on that first run.
How
But
fast did you go?
Yeah, so what they do is it's called a Dom start, a junior start. So you're basically entering into corner seven. So you're a little bit, just a little bit higher than halfway, depending, or a little less. So you're about 70K an hour. The chances of you flipping, I mean, you literally have to like counter steer, swing your weight, really kind of be a jackass in order to flip her sideways. But what they do is they have coaches sitting on certain corners, the more important corners, and they watch how you steer coming in and out of that corner. And you got to understand, in a day, it's not like uh, skiing where you jump on a ski lift, your back up in the mountain in no time. You got to load a bobsled into a truck. Guy's going to drive you to the top. You got to unload. You got to put it back in the track. So in a day, you're only getting 2 runs, maybe 3. So everything's got to be very specific. You spend a lot of time off ice training. But anyway, so the coaches will watch you, and when they feel that, yeah, okay, this guy's got corners, he's got an idea. What they'll do is there's a winch system that comes down this track, and they attach it to the back of the bobsled with a quick release pin, and they'll start backing you up the track. And you'll start at corner 7, then you're at corner 9, and all the way up. There was a very select few of us that got to go right from the top in park that week. I'm honored to say I was definitely one of them. But I fell in love, and when we started coming up with designs and how are we going to do this and that, safety, it was just an honor to be a part of it. And I quit hockey, stuck with bobsledding. So the monobob, as it's now known, basically came from the Paralympians. This whole squad was the one who helped design it, helped design the. When we started, we had a 2-man bobsled with a roll cage. We realized pretty quick when you crash going into a corner, that roll cage which gouges into the track, and then other bobsledders mad at you because their sleds going all over the place. And so the monobob was designed, all the safety was designed by collective engineering and safety and ourselves. And yeah, it was just great. And then my final, so I had my health took a turn for the worse, so I took a year off. And the boys were all begging me to come back. I came back. Of course, my first race back was on Park City, Utah's track. Took first place at the beginning of the World Cup Series, and then had the honor of representing Canada and finishing my career 3rd in the world. So it was
Wow.
Respect.
It's been a journey. Yeah, it's been a journey. It was great. I miss it with all my heart. I wish I could go back, but the shoulders just aren't going to allow that kind of a crash. So.
Wow, that is unbelievably cool. Terry didn't mention any of this.
Yeah. 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 It's I hope I never lose memory of it, because it was the greatest time of my life. It's funny because I'm an engine guy. You give me an engine and speed in a car, hell's yeah. I mean, I always say, like, if it's been 29 years, if they gave me my legs back in 24 hours, I'd be right back in the thing for sure.
What's your car? What would you be driving?
Oh, come on now, boys. We don't have all day.
We talked about
if
this.
If you want to pull out which car it would be, instantly it'd be a 1964 2-door Chevy Impala SS 454 under the midnight
domestic.
Yeah,
no, it's gonna be import, bro.
If I go import, where do you begin? I think honestly, Audi holds that
Dude,
title.
whatever. I love my lawnmowers.
Yeah, God Almighty! Of course, you love a Honda.
I grew up idolizing the Monte Carlo SS. That was my jam.
See, what a beauty car, bud. Beauty car. Great.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys, but I introduced you guys. I didn't even mention fellow wheelchair users. Is that an insult, or is it better not to say that? I was like, should I say it? Because we're all wheelchair users, but do I need to say that? Just curious. Like, is it an insult if I have said that? No, right? Okay.
No, yeah. It's a part of us.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. For me, kind of. I would have rather you just say I got the new cripple on the show today, but
Dude,
that's not really.
But hold on. You know why I'm comfortable saying cripple around you? Because of that tattoo that you have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Not. It's taken Bean, God bless her, ever living heart. I've known her for so long. We've been such good friends. And it has taken her almost up until, I swear to God, last year to finally let go that Brian's never going to stop using that word. And just like, poor girl has tried and been like, stop it. And I'm like, dude, that ain't never leaving my vocabulary. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless her patience because I'm pushing them every day.
Well,
Dude, that's
just caveat is say whatever you want yourself. Do not call me that. I'm not. Just say whatever you want about yourself. Not about me.
It's funny. We just had a talk about that on the last episode we recorded. It was like, is it okay for us to say? Because, and then we were like, no. And then we learned the origin of the word handicap. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know where it came from when she talked about having to beg with your cap in your hand because you didn't have the money to go to work, so you were handicapped.
Did you guys know that?
Oh,
I've
I
never
didn't know
heard of
that.
that before. That was
Yeah, I
Jen.
did.
Oh,
No,
my
I
God.
did know that. I got educated that a few years back, and I was like, wow, really? And there's actually another, I can't remember what the other one is. I'll have to look it up and let you know. There's another one that blew my mind too. That's pretty sure.
See, 40 Below Zero is an educational show, so.
Yeah,
Right
there you go. Have you ever, okay, this is way off topic, but please tell me you've seen the Family Guy episode where Joe gets a parrot.
Gets a what?
A parrot.
A parrot?
I have
Yeah.
to YouTube that, man. I don't
Okay,
remember.
okay.
Tell me.
So Joe gets a parrot and he's all excited. So Peter comes over and he's like, check out my parrot. I got him yesterday. And instantly Peter leans over and he's like, cripple, 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 cripple. And then all of a sudden the bird yells out, cripple. And he's like, Joe's like, damn it. Sorry, greatest episode. Google, YouTube it. It's
100%.
hilarious. Yeah,
Yo,
it's
my
solid.
God.
Solid.
So in the last episode, I told everyone that in the winter, I'm a drone guy. I love my drones. Okay. And I had a drone in the winter, like 2 years ago, it was snow blizzard. And I had Katrina take me in the middle of the grass field here. And she did the snow angel for me. So she moved my legs, she moved my arms. And then the title of the video says, this is how a cripple does a snow angel. And I got so much flack for that. People from like the Europe side of the world were like, no, take that down. And I'm like, no, I'm calling myself a cripple. And they're like, no. So, and ever since then, I'm like, oh, I'm so scared to use that word. And then all of a sudden, here's Brian. It was epic, man. When you were like, fuck that, I got a tattoo of it. I'm like, yo, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's going to offend. There's nothing in this world. There's not a word in this world that somebody's not offended by. I'm sure you can
Of
use the word
course.
and somebody's like, what the hell? I get it. You know
Yes.
what? And you're right. I'm not running around going, yo, cripple, 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 cripple.
No, I
I might say it to my buddies and, close to me and whatever the case may be. I call myself one all the time. It is what it is. For those who don't like it, don't listen to me. There's a door, there's an exit, walk away.
I get it. Being at ReYu, I always say it wrong. Anyway, ReYu, I'm saying it right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you are. Yeah.
You know why? Because I get confused. There's like a hotel name that's similar. Anyway,
Mhm.
so being over there I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going on. Dude, it was amazing. It's like home away from home for a lot of these people. And I realized all the people I met there, they go there a lot. They weren't there just for the presentation. They were there showing you support. They're a family. And I meshed with like 4 or 5 of those people instantly. And I'm like, yo, and I felt like Edmonton was much more open to people who have handicap issues. You know what I mean? Than Toronto. I know that sounds weird, and I'm gonna get hated on for this. But when I was in Edmonton, I didn't feel like many people were staring at me. And I was with Jen. So we were 2 wheelchair users using the smart drive. I was pulling her around. People were staring, yeah, just to be like, oh, look at them. They're having fun. But in Toronto, you get the stares, like, what's going on? And I felt that. And, and I felt like Edmonton was so much more calmer and I realized that Edmonton has a lot of facilities or a lot of different programs and much more than Toronto, even though you think Toronto would have more because it's more busier. But yeah, I loved Edmonton, man. It was my first time there. I loved it.
Edmonton's like a big small town. Like everybody knows everybody here. And I'm glad you felt that way, Terry. But honestly, the stigma still exists here.
Okay.
Right. And I think that because you were with Jen, oftentimes when you're the only wheelchair user, that's when you really feel it. When you go into a restaurant with your family, you're the only wheelchair user, everyone's staring at you. That's when you feel it a lot. But when you go in with like 5 or 6 people rolling deep, we command it. That's our space. What the fuck are you doing here with walking around with those legs?
What?
Right? Like we command that. Right? Because we want to and we can. And for us as wheelchair users, like just the wheelie peeps, we love fucking around with able-bodied people.
Love it.
It's so fun. It
love
gives us so much joy to make people put them in their place. Like, what the hell are you looking at? Look at you, sucker, having to walk around. Right? Like, we have created that atmosphere. And like, I think that we, you know, I mean, when we went to dinner, there was like 15 of us. And of the 15, 2 were able-bodied, right? So like, it's a different kind of experience when you're with a lot of different people, but stigma still exists here.
Sorry,
I
Brian.
think I think the greatest thing is rolling into a restaurant and just watching the waitresses and the owners shit their pants because they have no idea. Oh my God, where are we gonna put it? What are we gonna do? We're gonna. I love it. It's like the greatest thing on the planet. And if you ever get me going where we got to move tables, I'm just hawking tables and chairs, and they're just like, "Whoa, we can." And I'm like, "No, it's all right. I got it." Love it, love it. Greatest thing ever.
There's a restaurant near me where the hostess will continually ask me. I go there often. She will continually ask me, table or booth, and I say, well, booth with a high chair, please.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it. That is great.
And then you have to pick me up and put me in there.
Yes, up.
Mama.
Oh my God.
Oh
You know,
my
when we
God.
went to a restaurant with Katrina, it was on Saturday night. No, Sunday night. What am I talking about?
Sunday. Yeah.
And when we went there, we over here, she's like, yeah, I had so much fun. But did you know that I was the only able-bodied person there? And then I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah. And I had to think about it. No, and it shocked me. And
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with myself. I'll tell you why. I know this is like a really weird moment, but I didn't see anyone in a chair. I know that sounds really weird because people say that all the time to us. I don't see the chair. Dude, I didn't even know that. If I would have noticed that at the time, I think I would have made a lot more jokes about her being our caretaker. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, there's our caretaker, the only one not in chair, because everyone's going to assume she's there helping us and, you know, taking out
She's
us for the night.
she's the bus driver.
Dude, I couldn't believe that she was the only able. I'm like, how did it feel for you? She's like, fine. I'm like, it was just, I just never noticed. It was
Yeah.
incredible. So
At the end of the day, we're people, man. Whether we're sitting or standing, our bodies work, they don't work. We're just people. And I don't know why it's so hard for the community to grasp that. Like, and everybody's one step away from joining this club. Everybody is. So like, get your heads out of your asses and stop thinking you're better than us because your legs work.
Mm-hmm. And the more things that get built for people who need what we need, the more everybody gets to use them.
100%.
Everyone can use a ramp, but not everybody can use stairs.
Yep, exactly.
So
Exactly.
I
That's
hear ya.
universal design. We're far away from it still, but it's coming.
yeah, yeah.
Christ, we don't even have. Yeah, we're far away from it. True. There's so many buildings that are just they're really cool buildings, but man, is it a little bit difficult to get around and to get to. And they try. Some of them try.
Yeah.
I think it's more shocking that in 2024 you're still seeing brand spanking new buildings that you can go in and be like, what about this? Or what about this? And like, it's shocking to me. And it's more shocking, especially because forget push, forget any of it. We have been advocates for years. We have been meetings after meetings, conversations after conversations, parliaments. We've been in the sitting right there. It just absolutely shocks me that while we're building brand spanking new home places, that this isn't being thought about. When it comes to houses, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I do. I play devil's advocate in a lot of aspects. I mean, we can definitely build inclusive when you want to start talking about accessible and custom accessible. Those are two totally different things, right?
Yeah.
So But I just like in commercial buildings, you guys just stop. Like,
Yeah.
man. And then when you point it out, it's the same old routine. Well, do you know how much money that's going to cost to change now? Okay, well, do you know how much money it would have cost if you just did it right to begin with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But
And that comes down to lobbying. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
just think we've done it this way. We got to do it as cheap as we can, as fast as we can to make as much money as possible, and we don't care who can use it or what it looks like. It just
well, and you know what sucks about the whole situation is like there's a lot of us that that deal with everything. You just kind of like, that sucks. You whatever. You figure you go around, grab a couple able bodies, lift me in, do this, do that, whatever. You, it just sucks that every time we try to bring it forward, it just looks like, oh, they're complaining again. We're
yep.
not complaining, dude. We're trying to just explain to you this simple thought pattern, and if we can use this thought pattern, we'll stop bitching. At least for this one thing. We'll continue on the rest. Like it's such a struggle, and I find like it's tough when you try to. Man, I'm having a big fight. I've with the Bean's gonna laugh about this one. I'm having a huge fight with the guys doing the snow removal at my building. So I did snow removal for 13 years. I ran heavy equipment. I was out power sweeping. I have a video of me holding a power sweeper doing a commercial site. Like, man, it's just who I am. It's the way I am. And these guys are pushing the snow at the end of the ramps. They're not even the city
Yeah.
curb. They're not even finding the curb cut. They're just wherever they decide they're going to throw it off. So the other day, they were like a couple weeks ago, they were here and they were doing the parking lot. And I pulled the guy aside. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Blah blah blah. Explain who I was, And I'm like, man, can I educate you boys on some sidewalks here? Because I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little bit frustrating. Oh well, yeah. I mean, definitely, I can take what you're gonna say, man. But you got to understand these guys. They're hard to. They don't really listen. And I'm like, that's what you're gonna tell me is your employees aren't going to listen. What
Yeah.
are you talking about, bud? And I'm not asking for you to like. I'm not asking you to clear the snow from curb to my door. I'm telling you to do the curb cut properly and throw the snow a foot
exactly.
away. What the hell is wrong with you, man? And like we
Yeah.
got into an argument, and I'm like, all right, bud. I said, whenever you get half a minute to pull your head out of your ass, Google my name. Then I want you to call this person and this person about references. Like I did this for a fucking living, bud. What are you talking about? You're gonna argue with a guy in a wheelchair who did it for a living,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, I can't wait to bump into the prick again.
Whenever I have a complaint about something, I always feel like they're thinking I'm bitching. But I'm like, no, 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 just for the next wheelchair user. Or, whenever I approach someone, man, all of a sudden I'm this little boy. I'm like, excuse me. Because I don't want to come across this guy, this guy who looks like I'm gonna beat someone. So I'm like, excuse me, I just used in the movie theater. Remember the story? I just
Mhm.
used the washroom in the movie theater right here. And it's dirty. And I'm gonna go back to my movie. Hopefully when I come back, it's clean. Can somebody just clean it? Because my ass sits on that and I don't want, whatever. And then, and it comes across and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll get someone on it. And of course they didn't. And I'm like, do I approach someone again? Do I become that person? I wish somebody were to speak up for me. I know I
You
know,
just wheel in front of them and open the leg bag. Let them step all in it. Be like, oh, I'm sorry.
this is why I
Would
love this
that
guy.
help if that was cleaned up? Oh, now you understand. Have a good day. Just wheel out.
Yo,
Oh my God, Brian. I think that what would really help is having people in disabilities in these high up positions. We need city planners who have physical disabilities. We need like architects and stuff that have disabilities. Because like, here we have the accessibility advisory committee. So anything that the city does, they have to get like the check mark off that they've consulted the accessibility advisory committee. So sure, they consult with them. They say, I think you should change this, this, this. I see this can be a problem. But what ends up happening is like, oh, we already got your check mark, so we don't need to do any of this.
Yeah.
Politics.
We had a guest on the show not too long ago, and that's what he does. He is he has his whole business is he goes around to corporations and to buildings and
Are
stuff
you
like
talking
that.
about Zachary Weeks?
I am.
He's our homeboy. We know him.
Yeah, well, very well. Worked with him for years. Great
Yeah.
guy. Well, you want to pinch his cheeks every time you talk
He's
to
a
him. I love him.
great guy, dude.
Such a beautiful soul. I wish everybody was like Zachary.
Yeah, he really was. And I kind of there's a lot of times when we do this, I really feel like the outsider because like there's that whole information border between me and you guys. And when I hear you all talking about the show and I hear what he's doing, I'm like, man, there's got to be similar people down here, but I just can't find them. I'm just trying to get plugged into them.
And everyone's talking about VPNs. They're like, just switch your VPN. Just you'll get. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, man.
That's kind of what
Dude,
I have
I'm
to
gonna
do.
tell you, like, honestly, Bean's the champ when it comes to that. It don't matter where she is, what she's doing. If she sees a chair, a scooter, anything, she just straight to him. Yo, what's up? Who are you? What's your number?
Yo, that's so cool, dude.
Like she's on it. Me, usually, I'm that guy. I look over and then I just judge them on what wheelchair they're in, what condition
Yo,
is
man,
in.
you're intimidating, man. When you came in, when I saw you, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, hey, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm like, please make yourself welcome. I'm like, yo, where's Sid?
Oh, Sid the kid here. Hang on, let's see if we can
My
get a
God,
little.
I mean, no one's gonna see this, but dude, that dog is epic. Epic, man.
Can you see him?
Yes,
Camouflage.
yes. Dude,
Yeah.
I had the best dinner Sunday night because he was next to me the whole time, just sleeping. And I didn't touch him once because I didn't want to bother him. I'm like, yeah, you stay there. You're cute.
Yeah, he's my little boy. He doesn't go. I don't go nowhere without him. That's for sure. I love that dog.
So when I was down at the conference in DC a couple of weeks back, I was very much like you are. Everyone who had a chat was like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get those wheels?" I was trying to like mine everyone for information because I'm like, I know how I do it, but there's got to be a cooler and better way somewhere along the line. And that's how I made a lot of the friends is because I would roll up to them and say, "Those are really cool wheels. How do you get carbon fiber wheels? I'm jealous." Like that kind of stuff. It's like instant friends almost.
You're not the
Yeah,
guy that
my
goes.
thing, my thing is literally a judging and literally like, dude, really? Like, can we get rid of this? So I've worked on chairs for years, and ironically, I just found out. It's a long story. I just found out they canceled my long-term disability on me. Apparently, I'm not disabled enough. So I'm being, had to figure things out, but I'm actually becoming a tech for one of the medical equipment stores here in Leduc,
Nice.
actually.
Nice.
So it's great because Bean's never paid for a wheelchair repair in 10 years. I paint her chair, I fix her chair, so every time I see a chair, I'm like, God, can you not take a torch to the hair of your casters? Like if I have to see that, I'm gonna
Dude, don't. I am so oh my God. I'm so self-conscious about the hair.
Torch. Get a torch.
Gross.
Get a torch. All
I'm a
you
clean
need
guy
is
too. You know what I mean?
this is so Bean,
can you
Brittany,
torch it?
Oh, it smells. Oh, it stinks. Oh,
Yeah.
Can you torch it and not ruin anything?
Bro. No, dude, you don't. First of all, don't hold the torch right up against.
I know. I get it.
I
get it, bro.
But, dude, take one of. I'm not talking a big ass propane.
I get
torch.
it.
I'm
I get it. I've
like
thought
a
of that.
lighter torch. Light both ends. Done. And Bean,
dude,
there's a billion galaxy outside. Yeah, I didn't say burn it in your house. Just the next time you're outside, lean over, freaking press a button, torch it, go for a wheel so you don't smell it.
Thank you, man. I'm doing that, but not before I go and visit Beat one day. I'll do it, make sure it airs out and all that
Oh,
shit.
you got to. Thank you for
That's
that because
epic, man.
I've never thought of that. She's getting it. Next time
Oh,
I'm near her, I'm gonna be like,
God.
"What is that? That's your
That's funny.
hair."
I've always thought of that, man. Seriously.
It's just one of those things. Like Brittany, our good bud Britt, she calls me up one day and she's like, "B, my bearings are shot," and I'm like, "Okay, bud." I'm like, "No worries." I'm like, give me your chair, whatever." I pick her up bearings, drive to her house, lift her chair up. I take one look at the caster, and I'm like, "Brittany." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "I can make four of you." I take a torch, I torch all the hair off, and the wheel spins free as a day. Didn't have to change one bearing in it. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, you girls." She's like, "But it smells." 20 minutes later, I'm like, "Do you still smell the hair?" "No." "What is your problem?"
Light a candle
Oh my
first.
God.
"Yeah, but let's go spend $60 on bearings and $150 on the mechanic and the gas and everything else because we can't burn the hair off."
Well, that's because you don't have your how-to videos readily available on YouTube. And now that you're going to be a tech, we're gonna have to subscribe to
Yeah.
your channel,
Dude,
and
that'd
you
be
can
sick, man.
call it, "Hey, dumbass, fix your chair."
Yeah. Yeah, Brittany's been bugging me to get on a YouTube channel and start doing like quick little what to do's in an emergency situation, what to do's here and there to keep your chair running. But
Listen,
why?
it would be very helpful because when I first had my wheelchair, that's how I found Terry, because he was on TikTok or something.
I was on TikTok, but I
Was
did
it?
use TikTok at one point, but
Yeah, it was YouTube. I mean, it was somewhere I found you.
Instagram, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Dude,
saying, go for it.
I had a lot of an ego, and I still do around some people, right? I don't know if you noticed when I was at ReYu and I was being a demo model. Dude, sometimes my face, because they were making me do certain things, and it was tough on me. And I was really focusing and I was really trying. And I had that bitch resting face happening. And then I remember one time, like looking to the side, my face is all like looked constipated. I looked to the side and I see Bean staring and smiling at me. And I instantly went, "Hey." And I just put up a fake smile and be like, "Hey, this is what I look like. I swear. Hey." Because it was so embarrassing. Because I'm like, "Stop staring at me." And not only that, but the three ladies that were helping me, which were great, each one had a certain time when they had to pull up my pants. So they're like, "Do you mind?" I'm like, "Go for it." And my ego was put away and I was so comfortable. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, just pull them up. That's fine." And in the end, they said, "Are you okay to get back on your chair?" Usually I am at home when nobody's watching. But I said, "Do you guys want to help me get back on the chair?" And it was embarrassing. But dude, I first experience ever someone lifting me into the chair. And it was nice. It was so comfortable. I was like, "Yeah, I should do this every day." But no, I'm not. But
You
I don't
got
know. It
it.
was just,
That credit goes to Bean and Nancy, though. Those two girls really do their due diligence in hiring. And I'm gonna tell you, in the years that ReYu's been running and I've been around, there's never been a more professional, loving, caring, but yet in your face staff. Like they're yeah. I mean, I'll let Bean elaborate on her end, but I'm telling you, man, those every single employee that's ever gone through ReYu that's part of a rehab process is one of the best in the thing. They make you feel comfortable and they don't care about, your pants could be around your freaking ankles and they're just like, "Oh, yo, here." Next thing you know, you're 4 feet taller. But yeah, I'll let Dean talk about it.
They would never let your pants get to your ankles because we know, like, even when your shirt starts riding up and you're working out, and if you're paralyzed, you can't feel it, right? And then, everybody gets self-conscious if your belly's sticking out or your butt sticking out, right? So it's just a part of like the training that we do is just you help them fix their clothes. They can't fix it themselves, help them fix their clothes, like have dignity, right? And I just love that, like, so a lot of our staff are young, they're straight out of university. So they're 22, 23 years old. And a couple of years ago, two of my staff members, I heard them talking, these two girls. I heard them talking and I couldn't help but like one, be super proud and also laugh. And they were talking about how when they're in public, like they don't care if they fart because it's such a normal part at ReYu where people are farting, they're shitting, they're pissing. It's just a normal part of our everyday life. And so people are farting all the time. And I heard these two girls talking about, yeah, I was on the bus the other day. I was just letting them rip and I don't even care anymore. And I was just like, I love that so much.
Right now, whoever's listening to this knows what's going on in my mind because I've talked about this many times. I went to a massage therapist. She's bending my leg, and I'm like, and I'll stop her, and I'm like, wait, wait. And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, spasm attack. But really, I'm like holding in a fart. Dude, I'm not comfortable.
Let it out, bro.
What do you mean? I always talk to people about this. I'm like, do you not need to fart when you're getting a massage and you actually hold it or do you let it go? And people are like, it's natural. Get out of here, dude. It's not natural.
First thing I say, can you smell it? You smell it? You smell that one? That was a good one.
Bro, I'm not comfortable. I don't know what it is. Dude, even in her thing. Oh man. You know, I'm sorry. I dehydrated myself. Dude, my anxiety. I just did not want to be in that situation. You know?
But I think sorry, Bean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I think the other thing too is just it comes with years. Like, man, you know how many embarrassing shitting myself moments I've had?
I love you, bro.
It's like unfucking real. Like I can't even tell you the stories. Like there's so many of them, from whether shitting myself in a skid steer and like having to like go park it and hop out of it.
Dude, I love this guy.
Paper towels, fucking guys are like, what are you doing? Nothing, don't worry about it. Seat's just a little damp, you know.
Just leaving skid marks in the skid steer.
Yeah, you know, just skidding it up, man. Just skidding it up. But I like so many embarrassing moments. So many, like, I remember the first time, dude, it ever happened to me. I was fresh out of hospital. We were at a pool hall with my buddies, and I shit myself. Man, I'm fucking crying my eyes out. I literally, it was the most devastating moment of my life. Called my mom. My mom comes. She helps me into the car. You know, she's got plastic bags on the seats, and I'm just like tears and frustrated. I get in the car. God bless my mother. First thing she says to me, she's like, hey, shit happens. And I'm like, love you, Mom. Second thing she said, she's like, you know what, B? She's like, I don't understand this world. And I said, why? She says, you come into the world pissing and shitting yourself, you leave the world pissing and shitting yourself. The fuck's wrong with the middle? And I'm like, God, Mom, you should be a spokesperson. You know, like, so I think it comes over time. Once you get used to it, farting's minuscule. I will take a fart all day, every day.
I've accepted peeing myself, and I talk about it all the time. And I tell people in these support groups that we run, oh, and as soon as I open that side, everyone is like nodding their head in agreement. Like, yeah, me too. But it seems like the number 2 is still not there yet for everyone. But I do talk about it. And talking to you during the trip, man, you put me to shame. I should be much more open about everything, honestly, because when you talk about it,
putting to shame. It just takes time. That's all it is. It's not. You're never putting anyway. It's experiences. Dude. I have guys in chairs I have known for years that still are not there. They cannot. It's, you know, and don't get me wrong, man. When it happens to me, I'm not like, Shibato. You know, there's still a moment of like, fuck this.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and but at the end of the day, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it, and you either talk about it and make other people go, okay, fair enough. You know, sure, you're probably gonna find one, and I mean, I'm gonna be generous and say 10. It's probably a hell of a lot less. You know, that's like, oh my God.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck it.
Throw
it at them.
Yeah. But everybody does it. Like every living thing on this planet excretes waste. Even amoebas excrete waste. So why are we made to feel embarrassed about it? And the simple answer is colonialism. The simplest answer is because colonialism, right? They told us that, hey, all of this is shameful and whatever. But like, I think it's just like, it's our responsibility as people with disabilities to go out there and say, no, it's not. It's absolutely not. These are things that you do too. You also shit, you piss, you fart. We just can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
A guy I know who is I think he's, what is he, an L1 or something? I think he has an L1 or L2. He says all the time, he says, I can't feel it. I'm not gonna stop it. He
Yeah,
goes, he goes, how can you stop something you're not aware is happening?
Yeah. I just say my sphincters don't work. Like, what do you want me to do? My sphincters don't work.
Yeah.
I just tell them I'm too lazy. Be like, I really didn't feel like going to the bathroom. Fuck it. This is
It's
way
so much
easier.
more work when you shit yourself. Now you got to take a shower.
It's
You got
obviously,
so much
laundry.
more work.
obviously,
Yeah.
Cleaning
obviously,
this stuff.
yes, obviously.
Cushion, wheelchair, clothing, yourself.
All of it.
Oh, it's all
Like-
bullshit.
Why did you go to the washroom? It was all the way there.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
the next room over.
But you can smell it now. Now you know. There you go. Take that.
I love the real talk, man. I love that. And my support groups is always real talk. And
Yeah.
I'm the one to do it. I'm the one to be like, all right, so this is what happened to me. And everybody's laughing. And then you see a bunch of people going like this, and then they don't want to share. But at least I got to share. And
Yeah.
it's very therapeutic for me too.
It's just making it normal. And sometimes when I'm with like able-bodied people, I have to remind myself, like, oh, Bean, they don't talk about this.
Me too.
They don't talk
Mhm.
about these things because I still openly talk about it. Or if I have to go to the bathroom, I'm like, hey, I gotta go pee real quick. And then I've had a couple of women and be like, oh, that was very open of you. And I was like, why? I'm like, what did I say? Because I have to pee? I'm like, what do you want me to say? I have to go to the washroom. Please excuse me while I go powder my nose. Like, fuck, I'm gonna go piss, man. You're gonna piss too.
Yeah,
Shut
right.
You're gonna piss too. Katrina at the grocery store talking to her friend who we met there. Oh my God, hi. And I can't wait to go home and take off my bra. And here I am going, yeah, I can't wait to go home and take out the catheter. And then there's two people there like, oh my God. Oh, I'm like, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'm allowed to say this stuff,
There
But
you
they're
are.
like, oh, I can't hear this. And Katrina's like, Terry. Like, but
Well,
that's
then
what I
I
do.
just think like if that makes you uncomfortable, and this is a quote from Mr. Brian McPherson, that's an issue, not an
Dude.
issue.
Wow.
I use
That's
that, man.
great. That is
That's
great.
that is my greatest saying in the planet. It's an issue, not an issue, bud. Deal
It's
with
an
Wow.
it.
issue. Yo, I love that too. I heard that when I was there.
Check it out at the merch store. Where's that at?
Yeah.
I already patented it.
Man, you got
Yes.
half a thing already. We already got your YouTube channel running. We got your merch.
Yeah. If I actually did something with this, I could probably stay on long term at home and let my shoulders heal.
Yo.
But I'm too stubborn.
Good.
Word,
On that note, let me show you what I got.
word. Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro.
yeah, bud.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, man. I told you, I'm not talking shit. I didn't talk
Fuck
shit. I
yeah.
showed Nick.
Have
I'm
you
like,
hooked him up?
no, I was supposed to yesterday. Katrina's like, let's go.
Oh,
And I'm like, no, I don't know. And whatever the case is, she's like, well, don't you want to do it
yes.
before them so you can talk to them about it? I'm like, I'll just show him it and I'll say, hey, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, buddy, I've thought of okay. My spare set sit in the back of the van because I'm always doing shit where I need them,
Yeah.
and like every day I've opened up the hatch and I'm like, God damn it, I should have sent it to him. God
No,
damn
bro.
it, I should have sent. I'm so glad you got
I
him. I'm
wasn't
proud
talking
of you,
shit.
bud.
I wasn't
Fuck
talking
yeah,
shit.
you
I was
did.
getting it.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, bro. I
Great.
respect you, man. You were gonna give it to
Great.
me, and you're like, I'll send it back to
Oh.
him. And I was thinking, oh, should I take them and just know where his address is and then stalk him? No, I'm just kidding, bro.
Try
It's
just
all
show
good,
up.
buddy. It's
Hey,
all
bro.
good, bud.
So when
It's
are
all
you
good.
planning on driving?
Oh, any time. Like if today, maybe after, maybe tomorrow. But it's happening. Like she's like, come on, let's do it.
Awesome.
And I'm like, you don't got to
Yeah.
be so nice about it. She's like, no, seriously, I know you want to drive. Let's do it.
So
You know?
catch the listeners up, Terry.
Terry, it's gonna change
Oh,
your
that's right.
whole
That's right.
life, buddy.
It's
Change your world.
known as assistive device to drive. And he showed it to me in Edmonton and he was going to give it to me. And he's like, you just send it back to me. And dude, I was going to take it. I was so appreciative of it because I'm like, yeah, damn right. I want that. But then I'm thinking, yo, I know it's going to work because this guy already convinced me that he uses it all the time. Why don't I just buy my own? And as soon as it got back, I bought it right away. And I'm like, hey, Jen, look. And I showed Jen and she's like, no way. And I was like, I can't wait to show you guys. Yeah. So
That's
thank you,
awesome.
man. Respect.
Congratulations.
Dude, solid. I literally, as much as I keep saying, like, I was mad I didn't give them to you. I used them 2 days ago. Like literally needed to borrow my buddy's 1 ton. I'm like, hey, take in your truck. I'll be back in an hour.
Dude, I really, really wanted to send you these two because I'm like, yo, his is old, his still work, they're fine. But I wanted to give you a new pair just to be like, thank you, bro. So if I ever come
Oh
to
no.
Edmonton, I'll buy you a new pair and I'll fucking give it
No,
to you.
man. No, no, don't bother. Well, but okay, my first set of hand controls, I had a guy show me a pair. They're not like that, they're a different style. I took a picture, I went home, I found scrap metal, tack welded some shit together, and they were my portable hand controls up until my Honda Civic got stolen last year. Last year, bud, it got stolen with the car, and I was pissed because they were my first ones I ever built. But yeah, man, I'm just glad you got them. I'm so excited for you,
Thanks,
Terry.
man.
I guarantee you, dude, you're gonna hook them up, go for a rip, and you're gonna be like, "What is going on?" It's gonna change your life, buddy.
Katrina's happy. She's like, now you can take me to work and I don't have to pay for parking and just come back and pick. I'm like, yeah, I guess now you're gonna use me.
Dude, yeah, utilize it, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Utilize it. Yeah,
Thanks,
man, that's
bro.
awesme. Proud
Thank
of
you,
you.
man.
Congrats.
Yo,
Wait, if you don't
respect.
mind me
Thank you.
asking, what did they hit you for?
Exactly what you said. They were like 250.
Yeah, hey, yeah,
Amazon, you
sweet.
know what I mean?
Yep,
But
yep,
Amazon's my
yep.
shit. I don't care if it's cheaper or expensive. I would have gotten it, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Hey, man, I'm just turned into an Amazon junkie myself, so I
Yeah,
get it. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're wicked. Congrats.
awesome.
So does that mean you're going to be gearing up to road trip to New
Shut
York?
up. I ain't driving nowhere. I knew you were going
Yeah.
for that.
I've been bugging Terry
I
for
knew
a
it.
little bit now. The midpoint between where we're at is a place called Corning, New York,
Okay.
and that's where we're going to plan to meet eventually. We've been threatening it for a while. We've never met in person, so
Yeah, do it. Where are you from,
Where
Nick?
new? Yes, exactly.
what's that?
Where are
Where
you
are you
from?
from?
The
Oh,
States.
I'm from a little county called Delaware County in Pennsylvania, southeast Pennsylvania. So right near the PA Delaware state line.
Okay,
So about 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
cool.
So
Philly.
Can you talk
yeah.
about where you travel to when you go to the States? Because I don't really know this either. Sorry.
For me?
Yeah, because I know you go to the States frequently. Not frequently, but
Yeah. Well, I usually go wherever I get booked to speak.
oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, my boyfriend lives in Salt Lake City, so I've been there quite a few
Oh,
times.
okay.
And yeah, basically, if I get booked to speak somewhere, I'll just
Yeah, yeah.
happily go.
Your talk, honestly, I'm gonna be like, it was great. Honestly, it was great. It made, and I'm not gonna brag. I feel like I'm bragging, but I do the same thing you do in my support groups, the same speech. The only thing I don't do is, all right, guys, let's do a bit of running in the beginning, which is
Wheelchair
great.
running's the best,
This is,
man. It's the
yeah, it
best.
was great. It was awesome. Everything about it was awesome. And I'm like, yo, and I kept looking at Katrina. I'm like, yo, this is what I do. Except she does it to the world. I do it to like 30 people,
Hey,
but
man, just one person. All you got to do is just one person, right? I've been speaking for
yeah,
like 10 years and did so many small groups. And I actually prefer like the small groups are so much more intimate and people are more engaged and they're able to like ask a question that they wouldn't feel comfortable asking in front of like 100 or 1,000 people. So I
yeah,
just, yeah, any audiences, I'm grateful for any audience or anybody who will listen to me talk. Grateful for it.
awesome.
I can't. The smaller groups drive me nuts. Give me 150,000 people. I'd rather that way, so at least I know a couple think I'm funny and worth listening to. When you only got like 5 to talk to, you're like, oh god, I got to be on my best behavior.
Oh yeah, I
Hate it.
hear you.
So are your talks advocacy and awareness? Does that pretty encompass them?
Yeah, I can talk about a lot of things. Mainly, like I talk about a lot about like introspection and personal development. So like how to be a better person, the things that I've learned in my lessons of like, being paralyzed for the last almost 12 years and the identity shifts I've had to go through and just, yeah, a lot of the advocacy stuff. I talk about like, how to be an ally to people with disabilities, like what can people do to like be comfortable around us. And I share some of the funny stories and things that have happened because like I want people to feel uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, then I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you feel uncomfortable? Is it because you have the medical model of disability in your brain that you want to feel sorry for us? Or like you think our lives are really hard and you want to do everything for us? Like, what is it? Right. And then like that's what I really enjoy talking about, is getting people to really reflect and look on their inside and ask themselves like why they are the way they are and why they have those assumptions and stereotypes and stuff. Because that's the only way we can dismantle them, is first to become aware of it.
Very true. And one of the I was talking with someone a little while ago, and they were talking about seeing us as Terry's favorite word, inspirational.
No, it's not. No, it's
and
not.
and I made the comment. I said that able-bodied people see inspiration in opposite of what they think they'll be if they're in that situation.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it kind of falls in line.
Yeah, and I often ask people too, like, what are you going to do with this inspiration? I'm glad I've inspired you, but what are you going to do with it now? Are you going to exit this building and then go back to your mundane life? You're going to go back to the rat race, or are you actually going to do something with this inspiration that I've worked very, very hard to fill you with?
Yes,
Exactly.
And
I
then
love it.
they're kind of like, oh God. And I'm like, and I'm going to follow you on Instagram. I'm going to find you and I'm going to ask you, what did you do with your inspiration?
I'm using that.
Because
using
I'm
that.
sorry, I'm not giving it to you for free here. What are you doing with it?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, man. Ask them. What are you doing with it?
that's so perfect.
It's annoying that it's annoying and stuff for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's more annoying is that you're gonna say that I've inspired you, and then you're gonna go back to your regular life of being judgmental and like whatever. So don't.
You gave me some ammo. Thank you. I had never even thought of that. It's like, oh, great. I'm going to follow your Instagram account and I'm going to find out what you, yeah. Dude, thank you.
See you at the next
I'll hold
walk.
you accountable.
See you at the next walk. Yeah,
Love that.
that is awesome. That poster behind you, is that you in the poster or is it?
And that one?
Yeah, I love
The
that
picture.
poster. I wish people could see what I'm looking at.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a picture. It's a picture of myself that my sister
Yo,
had blown up.
That's great. No,
And there's there's a message on there. That was for my fifth rebirthday. So 5 years after being paralyzed, my sister had that made for me. And there's a really
Oh.
nice poem written on it.
Cool.
And yeah, just it's a heart
Wow.
jerker.
I have never heard that term before. That is amazing. Rebirth day.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's what I call it.
That's another bean thing. Shit, I never heard it a day in my life. All of a sudden, Bean's like, "Oh, it's your rebirth day." I'm like, "What the fuck is a rebirth day?" He's like, the day you got paralyzed, and now it's like the big thing. That's what everybody calls it, a rebirth
Yeah.
day.
Wow. Terry, that fits right into your CBT, reframing into a positive, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm still practicing. Yeah.
No,
I've taken a
it's-
CBT course and
That's why it's practice. You gotta keep doing it.
Yeah,
it's
man.
working. It is, believe it or not. But, I have a friend who also took it. So we always bounce off each other. Like, hey, hey, hey. And then I'm like, shut up. No, I'm just kidding. Dude,
Yeah.
guys,
Sorry, go ahead.
so grateful that you came onto our show. I'm so appreciative. So grateful for me meeting you when you came down to London, because I would never have even thought that I'm going to travel. This guy's been trying to get me to get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, I don't know. But the fact that Jen was coming with me and everything, it just worked out. I can't even tell you. It was a dream,
Yeah, man.
a dream for me, for it to happen.
Well,
So,
I think everything happens for a reason. Everything does, right? I mean, and just you brought me a two-wheeled walker to my speech. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had that. And yeah, I just firmly believe everything happens for a reason. There's so much synchronicity as to how even today happened,
yeah.
right? Because of all
Yeah.
of these pieces that have come together, and like the universe made all of that happen. And I'm
Absolutely.
just glad that you took that challenge, Terry. And I told you, I was like, I know it's short notice, it's 2 weeks. And I saw the look on your face, like, oh my God, no, I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. Right. And then 3 days later, you text me saying my flights have been booked. Like,
Dude,
what?
I wanted to hurt you because I'm like, don't make Katrina want to push me. Get that shit out of my face. And then I ended up coming. I don't know what the hell.
Because when we challenge ourselves, it's scary.
We've got you flying, we got you driving. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, but by the
Yeah.
time we're done with you,
I do look like Jesus.
Next step
Okay,
is they'll
that's
take you skydiving next.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Let's do it.
Relax.
I'm down.
Relax.
I was gonna say, it looked like they had a pretty good time, Terry. I wouldn't push it.
It was scary as fuck, but so
Dude,
fun.
I saw that. Yeah. Did you see that, Nick? I never talked to you about that.
No, you sent it to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He sends me clips every now and again. He's like, you got to watch this. So, yeah, it was
Cool, man.
amazing meeting you both. You have exactly the energy I thought you would. And that's even cool. That's cooler for me because I love meeting upbeat people and, just reiterating that it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
It's just not.
No.
There's a whole life to be had.
Yeah,
Okay.
you gotta have fun, man. What's life without fun?
Awesome.
What's fun without a wheelchair?
I have so many stories. I'm not going to get into it now because we have no time. And dude, at the airport, things happened and you would have found funny. You can listen to my other episode that it was funny. It was good stuff.
I'm proud of you.
Whatever. You can pick up a phone and call a guy, you jerk.
Bro, I don't
know
want to
your
bother you
podcast.
guys. Yeah, okay.
Well,
all
I
right.
don't want to bother you guys. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Pick up a phone.
Stop it.
I'll call you out on it.
I know,
Okay,
man.
fine.
I'll talk to you
Sure.
guys soon, man. I will.
Okay. So
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
you
guys.
both.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice to
I'll
meet
talk
you
to
guys.
you guys soon.
Take care.
you too.
Sounds good. Peace out.
So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4T-below-zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nick's, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.